Leading derivatives marketplace CME Group is launching Ethereum Options amid surging demand for ETH derivatives ahead of the Ethereum Merge. Joining us now is Tim McCourt. He's a global head of equity and FX products at CME Group. Always a pleasure having you on, Tim. So CME Group's Ether futures have seen a 43% increase in average daily volume year over year. Tell us about this new product.
Yeah, thanks, Christine. Thanks for having me. We're excited to introduce options on our Ether future at CME Group this week. These are options on the larger Ether contracts. We have micro-size as well as standard size Ether and Bitcoin futures here at CME. So this is the 50x multiplier future that the options are on. Off to a great start, really great market quality, had some block trades, we had on-screen trading. Really excited about bringing this product to market. And Ether in general is seeing an upwelling of demand this year, as I think some of it is certainly fueled by interest and hype around the merge, but also as more and more people adopt crypto in their day-to-day business, as they're looking at different projects across the different protocols, we're seeing an increasing need for not only risk management from a commercial stand, but also more and more people wanting to access these markets and do so on regulated products at a trusted venue such as CME.
So a little bit about this ETH options. And by the way, I think it was Genesis did the first block trade, if my understanding. We got to disclose that we have the same parent company, DCG. That said, tell us a little bit more about what that, how is it cleared? I mean, you're still using standard old clearing methods, correct, that the CMEO uses, or are you doing anything funky blockchain related?
No, that's correct. These are traditional products at CME, so they function the same way as E-mini S&P 500 contracts do. So when we look at it, you need a broker, you need a futures account. They function the same way. It's also important to note that our contracts, the underlying futures contracts at CME, are cash settled. So they settle to the CME CF benchmark sponsored indices on Bitcoin and Ether. So it's just the movement of US dollar against the price of the underlying crypto asset. So you're not moving the tokens themselves, you're not handling the coins. So it functions the same way all the other futures and options on fusions at CME in your account.
I mean, we can't tell you what's going on, why you don't put it on the blockchain. I mean, these are, it's blockchain. That said, what are you learning so far in terms of what are you seeing in terms of volumes, both in the futures and I know it's kind of early here with this options launch, but are you seeing? Is it creeping up to Bitcoin volume? I mean, how close are they in terms of the two of them? Are they neck and neck? Are you seeing more interest in ETH? And what brought about this ETH options offering here? I mean, what was the institutional interest? Can you gauge, are they more interested in it than Bitcoin? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. What we're seeing this year in 2022 is Bitcoin and Ether are trading about the same. When we look at the totality of our products across options as well as both sides futures that we have, they're doing about similar volumes on a daily basis. But we have seen more, or maybe more distinct enthusiasm around Ether. And I think that's because when you look at the underlying communities, you have some people that are Bitcoin maximalists, or you have Bitcoin kind of only people trading. But Ether has its own distinct community. And I think as more and more of institutions out there are looking at crypto products or figuring out how to use DeFi in their day-to-day business, they're gravitating towards the Ethereum network and therefore having more of a need to trade and manage risks associated with the price of Ether, just as a function of enabling their projects and getting more and more in terms of testing and incubating some of their ideas. So we see distinct demand patterns, but both are doing very well this year, despite necessarily the price we're chasing that we've seen. We've seen strong growth in volume and strong growth in open interest at CME.
So, it sounds like you're sort of predicting an increased surge in institutional investment in ETH specifically. Anything else? Do you see institutional investment going to other tokens besides Bitcoin and Ether? Just anything that people should be aware of?
Yeah, so on the tradable product front, we basically only have products on Bitcoin and Ether, but we did launch a series of new reference rates with our partner crypto facilities, now known as CF benchmarks. So there's certainly a lot of interest in the other tokens out there and the other coins, in let's call it the top 15 to 20 market cap driven coins. I think it's not quite clear if institutions at this point need tradable products on those, or if they're just sort of learning as they expand beyond Bitcoin and Ether. But most of the interest from our customer base and the market participants that we speak to are really still centered largely around Bitcoin and Ether as a function of tradable products and risk management, largely because those are still the largest two. So if you think about accessing the cryptocurrency market or what some of your inherent risk management needs, those are also good enough proxies for some institutions for the totality of the crypto space.
Tim, we got to wrap, but just last 30 seconds. Do you see any trends or data interesting about the strike prices on ETH futures that tell us a bit about what people are forecasting in terms of price in the future?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say nothing necessarily jumps out just yet, but one of the best features about options is the term structure. So that is certainly something people should keep an eye on, where you could look and explore what signals we can derive from where the open interest lies as a function of strike price, as well as what you're seeing across the various maturity points in both the futures and the options market. So high informational value, and definitely encourage people to check out the term structure as these markets continue to develop.
All right, Tim.
Are you seeing backwardation or contango in the, what are we seeing here in the term structure here for ETH?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a little bit of hard to tell, right? I mean, we can see what we see in the term structure. I think what people are trying to figure out is what is driving that phenomenon in terms of the shape of the structure. Is that the yield people can now extract from some of these assets, or are there other kind of idiosyncratic costs or risks that are being priced in? So I think the term structure has enormous value in terms of price, but I think the market is still unclear what everyone is pricing in, and that's what will continue to engage with the market as we understand more of how they're using the options.